What does it take for a three-time champion's titles to be called fake? For Joey Logano, it took 2 words said out loud in a press conference at Richmond Raceway. Then it took a second champion on camera refusing to defend him. Kevin Harvick was handed the perfect chance to shut the criticism down. Instead, he agreed with it, and then he issued Joey Logano a challenge. The win came first, and it was the kind of win that usually owns the headlines. On Saturday night at Richmond Raceway, Joey Logano took the checkered flag in the Cookout 400. He drove his number 22 Team Penske Ford to a 0.392-second victory over Chase Briscoe, holding the lead across the line on a packed short track under the lights. Joey Logano led 95 of the 400 laps, and he led 6 different times during the night. He took the lead for good during the final round of pit stops when a late strategy call put him back out front with roughly 25 laps to go. Chase Briscoe and his number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota led a race-high 171 laps and could not run Joey Logano down at the finish. Inside the final 10 laps, Chase Briscoe drew to within 0.3 of a second, but with Joey Logano commanding the inside line in every corner, there was no room left to make the pass, and lapped traffic never opened the door. That runner-up result was the first career top 10 for Chase Briscoe on any short track on the schedule. The night was a fight from the start, with the field setting a Cup Series track record of 29 lead changes and pole sitter Ryan Blaney leading 88 laps and winning the opening stage before fading to a 13th place finish. Disaster struck on lap 285 for Carson Hocevar, whose number 77 engine expired and brought his night to a stop, dropping him to a 37th place result. The result carried weight far beyond one night. It was the second win of the 2026 season for Joey Logano and his second win in the last 4 races. It was the 39th win of his Cup Series career and his 3rd career win at Richmond Raceway, his first at that track in 9 years. His teammate Austin Cindric finished 3rd in the number 2 Team Penske Ford, a result that moved Austin Cindric up in the standings with major championship implications, giving him a cushion of roughly 57 points on the cutoff with 2 races remaining. Championship points leader Denny Hamlin finished 4th in his Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, and he now holds an advantage of about 115 points at the top of the standings over Ryan Blaney. Chase Elliott finished 5th in his Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet, his first top 5 finish in months. 2-time and reigning series champion Kyle Larson finished 6th in his Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet, 1 spot ahead of Christopher Bell in the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. Josh Berry of Wood Brothers Racing came home 8th, followed by Hendrick Motorsports teammates William Byron and Alex Bowman. The winning call belonged to crew chief Paul Wolfe, who pitted Joey Logano just after he took the lead late in the race, and Joey Logano needed only a short run to retake the top spot and hold it to the end. Paul Wolfe described the pattern the team has come to trust. "We've seen it a lot over the years once he gets that confidence, said Paul Wolfe. He's very good under pressure situations." Then Joey Logano came to the media center and the mood changed fast. A reporter stood up and asked about something fans have been saying online. The reporter was careful and made it clear the words were not his own. "This is not my words, but the words of some on social media may call you the Mickey Mouse champion," said a media member. There it was in the room out loud, the Mickey Mouse champion. Joey Logano did not step back from it. He answered head on, and he started with the titles themselves. "To answer the question first, they're all legit," said Joey Logano. "I don't care what the format is. Everyone knew the rules when it started." Then he went further and admitted the criticism reaches him. "Do I have a little chip on my shoulder? Yes, that's a clear yes." He told everyone what his team had written as its slogan inside the hauler on the team's own scoreboard. That slogan was "For the haters." "That's where we're at. That's a little good extra motivation," he added. And then he closed with the line that spread across the internet within minutes. "Either way, the Mickey Mouse ears look good on the trophies either way, and the check was pretty cool to go with it." To understand why 2 words landed so hard, it helps to know what the phrase means. All 3 of the championships won by Joey Logano came under the old elimination playoff system. That system had been in place in the Cup Series since 2014, and it ended each season with a single winner-take-all race. 4 drivers arrived at that final race, and whichever of the 4 finished ahead of the other 3 was crowned champion. The criticism is built on that structure. Across those title seasons, Joey Logano did not lead the standings for most of the year. He reached his best form at the right time, advanced to the Final Four, and then beat 3 other drivers over one afternoon. Under the rules of the day that made him the champion, the people using the phrase argue that a champion should be the best driver over an entire season across months of racing rather than the best driver over roughly 400 laps on one day in November. That argument grew louder through 2025. 14 different drivers won a race that season and 7 drivers won at least 3 races, yet the system still funneled the title down to a single final event. Many fans said the elimination bracket felt closer to a lottery than a title earned on merit, and pointed out that a driver with a lower season-long record could still win it all. The 2025 finale sharpened the point when only one of 3 season-long leaders across NASCAR's National Series prevailed in the winner-take-all races, and dominant campaigns ended as runner-up. The press conference question simply carried years of that debate into the room. That could have been the end of the story. It was not. A few days later, Will Buxton sat down with Kevin Harvick on speed. Will Buxton brought up the press conference, described the media member's question as bold commentary in that setting, and asked Kevin Harvick what he made of it. The context matters because of who was answering. Kevin Harvick won the Cup Series championship in 2014, the very first year of the elimination format. He won his own title under the exact rules now being called Mickey Mouse. So when he answered, he was not only speaking about Joey Logano, he was speaking about his own championship as well. Kevin Harvick agreed with the criticism anyway. Yeah, well, I think when you look at the format and us as competitors, when I was still driving, you would tell people, hey, I just raced to the format, said Kevin Harvick. Then came the part few expected. But I think when you look back at it, I think that's the reason that they changed the format, because it was a little Mickey Mouse. A Cup Series champion had just agreed that the format was a little Mickey Mouse and had tied that judgment to the reason the sport moved away from it. Kevin Harvick did not leave it there. He turned the criticism into a challenge and laid out exactly what he would do in the position of Joey Logano. He said he would use the talk as fuel, and he framed it around the record itself. I don't want that rhetoric next to my 3 championships. From there came the plan. So I'm just going to go win a 4th to be able to put all that to rest, he said. Then he explained why this kind of motivation matters so deep into a career when a driver has already won titles and races and still has to do the daily work. When you're at the point of having won 3 championships and winning races and doing all the things that Logano is doing at this point, those are the types of things that you have to grab for motivation to keep yourself going to the simulator and doing all the things that you are required to do as a Cup driver, with all the work to say, okay, well, I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to go win a 4th championship, and I'm going to do it in a different format, said Kevin Harvick. That last phrase is the center of the whole story, a different format because the rules really did change this year. NASCAR brought back the chase for the 2026 season, ending the elimination era that had run since 2014. The single winner-take-all finale is gone. The round-by-round eliminations are gone. The win-and-you're-in rule, which handed regular winners automatic playoff spots, is gone as well. Under the new system, the top 16 drivers in points after the 26-race regular season advance to the chase. Points are reset one time, and then all 16 drivers race for 10 straight weeks with no eliminations along the way. The driver with the most points at the end is the champion. The points model also changed. A win is now worth 55 points, an increase from the 40 points a win paid under the old system, while points for every other position and for stage results stay the same, and the bankable playoff points of the old format are gone. The regular season points leader starts the chase with 2,100 points, which is 25 more than the second seed, and the scale steps down in 5-point increments to 2,000 points for the 16th seed. The season ends at Homestead Miami Speedway, moved from Phoenix Raceway, which had hosted the old finale. NASCAR President Steve O'Donnell said the change was built to reward full-season consistency while keeping winning central and to make the championship simple enough that any fan could follow it. Steve O'Donnell framed the test the committee set for itself around a single image. Can you explain this if you got on an elevator and you had 20 floors to explain it to somebody? How does it work? Said Steve O'Donnell. He added that the aim was a clean single set of points. It's 10 races with every race mattering and still being very simple to explain to the fans, said Steve O'Donnell. NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin backed the compromise directly. It's going to require our 2026 champion to be lightning fast and incredibly consistent, and that's what we can all get behind, said Mark Martin. Chase Elliott, the 2020 Cup Series champion, welcomed the return of a format he grew up watching, calling it a strong middle ground between a full season points race and a postseason. Kyle Larson, who won his second title in November, said he favored the longer format because more races put the outcome more firmly in a driver's own hands. Put together, it means a title won this year is decided over 10 races with no single night safety net. A champion crowned that way could not be tied to one lucky afternoon. History says this is the part of the calendar when Joey Logano rises. He has reached the championship 4 in every even-numbered year of the elimination era: 2014, 2016, 2018, 2020, 2022, and 2024. He won his 3 Cup Series titles in 2018, 2022, and 2024. It is 2026, another even year. His season did not begin that way. It was the slowest start of his championship career, and he sat as low as 20th in the standings at the halfway point of the year. In his last title run, he won 3 of the final 10 races once his form arrived, and the same late surge has returned. Over the last 6 races, Joey Logano climbed from 20th all the way to 9th. He won at North Wilkesboro Speedway, and now he has won at Richmond Raceway, giving the number 22 team 2 wins in the last 4 races after a stretch of only 1 win across the previous 56 starts. His car has speed again, and he made that point directly in his post-race interview. "Don't let the boys get hot," said Joey Logano. "We're pretty strong right now. It's awesome to see the speed in the 22 again." Austin Cindric, who studies his teammate closely at Richmond Raceway, credited that guidance for his own third-place run and pointed to how strong Joey Logano is at the track. 2 races remain before the chase begins. The Cup Series heads to New Hampshire Motor Speedway first for the Dollar Tree 301 and then closes the regular season at Daytona International Speedway. Those 2 races carry more weight than they might appear to. Under the new rules, where a driver finishes the regular season sets the seed, and the seed sets how many points that driver carries into the one-time reset before the 10-race run begins. Every position climbed is worth points before the chase even starts, which makes 9th far from a settled place to sit. 7 drivers have already locked into the field: Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Ty Gibbs, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott, and Christopher Bell. That leaves the fight for the remaining spots and the seating behind them wide open, with Shane Van Gisbergen holding the final position around 16th, about 50 points ahead of Ryan Preece and Ross Chastain, and Brad Keselowski further back and needing a strong close. Daytona International Speedway can scramble the order for anyone, and New Hampshire Motor Speedway can swing it as well, so there is real work left to be done. Kevin Harvick effectively wrote the script for what comes next. Win a 4th title, win it under the new rules, and win it over 10 races instead of 1, and the Mickey Mouse talk has nowhere left to go. Joey Logano sits 9th in points with 2 races to run, with 2 wins in his last 4 starts and speed in the number 22 car. That leaves the real question hanging over the rest of the season. Was Kevin Harvick right that the old format was a little Mickey Mouse, or did Joey Logano earn every one of those 3 trophies by beating whatever rules were placed in front of him?